Most of us are looking for the chance to experience true and romantic love, so we can fairly say that it is important to learn how to attract and keep the partner of your dreams. However, this seems hard sometimes. If you've been single for a while, you probably understand the frustration of dating without finding that special person. In 2010, the mathematician Peter Backus from the University of Warwick wrote an article called Why I Don't Have a Girlfriend. And after doing so many calculations based on his criteria of the ideal partner, he found that in the entire city of London, there are only 26 women with whom he can have a successful relationship. That might sound a bit scary. That's one successful relationship in every 285,000. But don't worry, I'm not here to tell you that it is scary. In this video, I'm going to give you a full guide to relationship, and it's all backed up by science and mathematics. And I also think that Peter Backus was being too picky. He only finds one woman in every 20 attractive, and he only gets along with one woman in every 10 he meets. So if you're not like Peter Backus and you are committed to find the love of your life, then I'll be sharing a full guide to relationships, and it's all backed up by science and mathematics. This video is inspired by the book The Mathematics of Love by Hannah Fry. Hannah Fry is a mathematician, and her job is to find and understand patterns in human behavior. In her book, she gives a different perspective on love using mathematical theories. Since mathematics is basically the study of patterns in order to offer some prediction. Love is full of patterns, so this video can give you some insight. The aim of this video is not to give advice to brighten your romantic life, but to show you how relevant mathematics is in many aspects of our real life, including love. With that being said, let's get started. So first, let's talk about finding a date and how to maximize a night out. Mathematics offers a theory on how forward you should be on a night out. To understand this, let's take an example. Let's say we have three boys, Joey, Ross, and Chandler, chatting with three girls, Monica, Rachel, and Phoebe. Let's assume that each of the boys and girls has their own personal preferences, an order list of who they'd like to hook up with. If everyone is to live with a partner, there's going to have to be some sort of compromise. If we allow this scenario to play in the very old-fashioned way, which is boy approaching girl, each of the boys would hit on his first choice girl. So Chandler and Ross will approach Rachel. She will pick Ross because he ranks higher in her personal preferences. Chandler will go for Monica, his second choice. She will accept, hoping Joey will approach her. But Joey goes for Phoebe, who didn't get any demand from anyone else. So the couples we have now are Rachel and Ross, Monica and Chandler, and Phoebe and Joey. Only Chandler is without his top choice. The other boys end up with their best choice, so the boys have no incentives to switch. For the girl, the situation is less appealing. Rachel, Phoebe, and Monica end up with their second, third, and second choice respectively. Not great compared to the boys. This is known in mathematics as the stable marriage problem, which is the problem of finding a stable matching between two equally sized sets of elements given an ordering of preferences for each element. And the process through which the friends pick their partners is called the Gale-Shapley algorithm. Whenever the boys do the approaching, there are some outcomes that are always true. Some of them are, once all partners are determined, every man will have the best partner available to him. And second, every woman will end up with the least bad of all the men who approach her. This shows a surprising result that many of us don't know probably. The group who does the asking and risks continual rejection end up far better off than the group who sits back and waits for others' advances. We can redo our example by having the girls approach the boys this time, and the result would be Rachel with Joey, Phoebe with Ross, and Monica with Chandler. Now the girls have their first, and second choices respectively. A remarkable improvement. The boys, on the other hand, end up all with their second choices, a worse outcome than before. So the conclusion here is, if you put yourself out there and start approaching people from the top of your list and work your way down, you'll end up with the best possible person who'll have you. And on the contrary, if you sit back waiting for others to ask you, you'll end up with the least bad person who approaches you. I know I said this is not a self-help video, and I'm not going to give any advice about love, but I have to say this to my fellow ladies out there. Take the initiative, don't wait for him to ask. Now that we know how to maximize a night out and find a date, I guess sooner or later you want to leave the dating life behind you and settle down with one person. So the question mathematics is trying to solve is, when should you stop looking and settle with one person? And most importantly, how can you be sure that this person is the best you met so far and the best you'll ever meet? And that's the risk, because you can commit to someone today and maybe in the future you meet another one who is better for you. Or maybe the opposite, you can reject someone hoping that you can find someone better, but then you don't. Of course, presumably the person you like likes you back, and once you've rejected someone, you cannot go back and be with them. Although I'm thinking now J.Lo and Ben Affleck, but we can agree that this is very rare. So how can you make a decision when you don't know the people you might meet in the future? This kind of problem is very new and is called the secretary problem. It is used in the study of the theory of optimal stopping, a branch of mathematics and statistics that study this sort of problems to find the solution to maximize the chances of finding the right person. The solution is pretty complicated. I'll leave a link in the description box if you fancy to see some complicated calculations. But we can put it simply in words. Basically, if you are going to meet with 100 potential partners, you need to date and reject the first 37, keeping in mind the best partner from these 37 you dated. And from the 38th partner forward, you should be with the person better than the best so far person you dated. And since you can't know how many potential partners you'll meet ahead of time, we can think about it in terms of years. If you want to get married before the age of 35, and let's say you start dating at the age of 18, that leaves you with 17 years to find the perfect partner. And if we divide 17 by the earlier number, we get 6.25, we can round it to 7, which means you have 7 years to meet and reject as many potential partners as you can and score them to know who's the best. And after the age of 25 years old, you should pick the next person who is better than everyone you met before. If you apply this method, you increase your chances of marrying the best person for you by 33%. Pretty huge, right? Maybe you're thinking 1 in 3 chances of success, or 33% is not big enough, but please think about the alternative. If you choose to marry someone at random from your destiny, then you have 1 chance in n of success, with n being the number of people you dated. Meaning, if you dated 10 people, that's a 10% chance of marrying the best person for you. And if you think about it, that's exactly what happens naturally in real life. People usually like to go on so many dates when they're young without being serious until the age of 25 or 26, where they start thinking about long-term commitment. In Europe, women get married on average at the age of 27.5, so that gets along with the theory. This theory applies to so many other situations, such as hiring someone, deciding which city to live in, or finding a house to buy. Of course, the theory comes also with its flaws and limitations, because maybe you meet the perfect partner for you during your rejection phase, and since you haven't met everyone, you can't know that they're the best you'll ever get. If you stick to the rule and reject them, and you meet no one better in the future, then you have to continue rejecting everyone you meet until the end of your life. And probably you will hate mathematics. Well, I'm sorry to say that even mathematics has limitation, but today this is the best strategy available if you want to find the perfect partner for you. In his song You Can't Hurry Love, Phil Collins says, "You can't hurry love, no, you just have to wait, just trust in the good time, no matter how long it takes." While so many pop songs are trying to convince us that it is more romantic to be willing to wait forever for true love, in reality, most of us would rather be with a decent partner than end up alone. So what if you're not only interested in the very best possible partner, and you can be happy with someone who is in the top 5% or 15% of all your potential partners? Well, mathematics can still offer an answer using a trick called the Monte Carlo simulation. This is a method of computational algorithms that rely on repeated random sampling to obtain a probability distribution. If applied to dating in our case, we get this graph. The red line is our original problem. Here, the highest possible chance of success, as explained with the secretary problem, comes with a rejection window of 37%. But if the criteria are more relaxed and you'd be happy to settle with someone in the top 5% of everyone you will date in your lifetime, it's the yellow line that gives you the answer. Meaning the answer is to reject all partners in the first 22% of your dating window, in our case that's almost 4 years, and pick the next person that comes along who's better than everyone you've met before. This gives you a 57% chance of success. And if you're much less picky and would be happy with anyone in the top 15% 19%, then blue line is the answer. So you only have to spend a mere 19% of your dating life rejecting every potential partner, and this strategy gives you a 78% chance of success. Much risky than the secretary problem, which gives you an all or nothing solution. These answers are still not perfect because you cannot fully control meeting people. However, I think that this theories gives you great insight into real life scenarios. And I'd like to end this with a great quote from the book. Mathematics is all about abstracting from the real world to help find some hidden patterns and relationships which otherwise would be shrouded in messy things like emotions. That's it for me, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like this content and would like to know more, I highly recommend the book The Mathematics of Love by Hannah Fry, and another one that have been released earlier this year called How Not to Die Alone by Logan Ury. And as always, guys, if you made it so far, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like and share this video and subscribe to my channel for more content like this. Question everything, do your own research, and follow your instincts. I'll see you very soon in the next one. Bye!